Well, guess we're out of music there. Welcome into the OBR streaming network. This is All Eyes on Cleveland. Welcome to our world where Browns fans can gather and get some stuff off your chest. Base hit right field. Little 2-out knock from Naylor. Trying to watch the Gardos at the same time fight for their lives. What's up, everybody? Gathering into the chat. If you're watching on X, hop on over to the youtube.com/Orange and Brown Report. My name is Brad Ward. The man next to me is the one and only Casey Kinnamon. Big Case Dog. No nickname tonight. What's up, man? Can we let's just check in on you. How are you? You're in your home.
Yeah, I'm back. I should be all the way back. I had no residual weather from Milton down this time in Florida. It was more of an east or west to east maneuver. It didn't come up our way. I might be housing some Floridians though, if they don't get power back soon.
Hey man, that's what a nice thing to do. What a good thing to do. You're a good man. You know?
Yeah. But yeah, man, everything's back to normal here. I have electric kids finally went back to school yesterday. They were out until yesterday. They finally started going back. So things are getting back to normal, except for on Sundays, obviously.
Sundays.
Yep. Nothing normal about Sundays right now.
Really, Sundays or any other day, for that matter, when we're talking about the Browns. It's a mess, man. It's a mess.
I was on sports for CLE today, and there was no sunshine. It was like everything.
There is no sunshine.
No shelter.
Yeah, so let's dive right into it because there isn't. Nationally, it's gotten ugly. Everyone is coming for on a national basis. On every show you're watching, it's a topic, and they are addressing whether he should be benched.
Are you the shit? Terry Bradshaw was saying take him out back and treat him like old Yeller. Stephen A. was saying he should be arrested for his poor play. It didn't even just benched anymore.
Yeah, it's really bad. And the thing is, Case, I have no defense.
Well, the tape's the tape.
The tape is the tape. The tape don't lie.
You don't need to say. People are trying to. I see a lot of people out there defending, saying we still ride with him and he can lead this team. Why? It's like I don't know what you're basing that on, but like
why? Based on what? Yeah.
Right.
I mean, Case, the numbers are the numbers. The tape is the tape. We've watched the tape.
My guy's got 2 single-digit quarterback ratings in a single season.
You can. Here, I've got like every
Nathan Peterman has better stats than this guy.
Yeah. I've been collecting a lot of this. I mean, you can go down its own wormhole of like at this point, the reason people are piling on more now is not only before it was like an opinion, right? It was like he's bad, he looks bad, he doesn't look like himself. I don't think he's ever going to be able to. Now there's like real data out there to support how bad it is. And
and it feels like people are piling on more because
Yeah, they were waiting for this though. Like this was, this is their Super Bowl. If you're taking victory laps, I mean, I can't, like you said, there's no defense. I don't know what I can tell you that would prove anything otherwise. What I see though, the stuff that's legitimate that you'll hear is like, well, the line's terrible. Yeah. I mean, I can't tell you that it's not, but like every team that we play is under duress. Those quarterbacks find answers. And that's what this comes down to.
anymore.
Yeah, no, that's what it is, man. Like he's not even attempting to find the answers. And you can watch the TV copy and just see that it's the oval line's bad. But when you see the all 22 and you see the answers that are available, that he's not even attempting to look, because as soon as anything adverse is thrown at him, those eyes come down and there's no attempt to make a play. And his plan is to scramble outside the pocket and then make the play, but he's not even getting outside the pocket because that athleticism that he relied on to do those kind of things, it's no longer there. And it doesn't take much. You don't have to get that much slower. Split second here, split second there, and all of a sudden you're getting ran down by Dorrance Armstrong. Like it's that quick, So the gifts that he once had that got him out of trouble aren't there for him. So what does he have now? Because he can't play on time. There's no schedule. As soon as his back foot hits, eyes come down, plays dead on arrival.
Yeah. And I was talking about this last night, like a couple times in the red zone case, he's dropping back and he's not even ready to throw it. There's guys open and he's got the ball down by his waist.
It's bang bang. There's no.
Like, he's got to be back and like looking ready to throw, and and like you see other quarterbacks and it's like you can see them going through their progressions. It's like 1, 2, 3, right? And it's just back, ball's down here. So he has to bring it up. He has to load it up. He has to throw it. He's not even ready. He's not hitting the top of his drop, even ready to throw. So if there is somebody open, he's not even ready to throw it.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's an inability too, to even like attempt to read leverage. Like there are plays where if you just read the defense is going to tell you where to go with the football, but he's not doing that. He's locked on a route or a receiver. But like if the defense gives you different leverage, like we saw that when Jerry Jeudy came on that cross combo, and it is bang bang. Like so I know like Baldy was like it's a layup. I mean, if your ball's up here and you're ready to gunsling right now, maybe, but like there's no read it and then throw type thing.
Even had it coming, he had him coming back.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So he had him twice.
Yeah, but instead he scrambles to the left, is facing the opposite. He's facing the other end zone when he gets hit by Dorrance Armstrong.
The other way, yeah.
He's literally facing the other end zone and gets lit up by Dorrance Armstrong. And where's the concussion protocol at?
I don't know.
I've seen this guy take shots to the helmet and nothing. Just nothing. He's just allowed to play.
Yep. Can we please get him in concussion protocol?
Dude, that's what my fingers were crossed for on Wednesday morning.
Yeah.
Came and went.
Nothing.
But they got Grant Delpit.
He keeps getting up.
Need this week.
Yeah. So I'll do that in a second. I wanted to go through this stuff because it's a bigger conversation we're gonna have tonight. Like, but just for anybody that has any doubt of what, you know what I mean? Like, maybe it's just the pass rush, right? Per PFF, Deshaun Watson has 115 pass attempts from a clean pocket in 2024. That's 14th in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Clean pockets. Clean pocket stats to rankings, minimum of 50 attempts. There's 33 quarterbacks. He's 26th in completion percentage in a clean pocket, 32nd in yards per attempt in a clean pocket, 29th in passer ranking in a clean pocket. So when he has a clean pocket, he's bad, right? Quarterbacks that have played the easiest pass defenses year to date. Did you see this one?
Yes, I did. We talked
Browns.
about it. Yeah.
Easiest.
Oh.
The easiest pass defenses anybody has faced so far.
Yep.
32nd in the league. The Browns have played the easiest schedule on pass defenses. Oh, I'll get to that one in a minute here. Yeah. Kurt Warner weighing in, saying he should be sat. Where's this? So the biggest one for me and the most enlightening one is the one that, the apologists and the, supporters the one they can't come at is the tape, because the tape don't lie.
Yep.
Film don't lie. And B, Case, the adjusted EPA, because he has one of the biggest adjusted numbers of any quarterback out there. So you're accounting for bad offensive line play. You're accounting for drops. You're accounting for all the negative around him. So you can take every excuse out there, and it's almost everything that you can think of is encompassed in this stat. He's still second to last with only Bryce Young behind him,
who's already been axed. Yeah.
And that's with a huge lift on the adjusted side. So I don't know what else to say. I've seen enough.
That's the only thing we don't know is the plan. They had to have a plan going into this and how long this was going to play out, and do they give it the runway of the entire season? Because you extended Barry, you extended Stefanski before the season. Was that handshake made behind the scenes saying, look, this season is all about seeing if 4 can do this? Okay. And if that's true, my heart breaks for the other 52. Like, it's like you're wasting primes of so many players' careers just to figure this out. And when is the sample size enough for you to be like, because you can keep throwing reps at this, but we're seeing here's the concerning part, Brad.
Yeah.
He's had 2 games where he had a pulse, right? He had a pulse against Jacksonville, and he had a pulse against the Raiders. A pulse. I'm just saying a pulse. I'm not even saying good play. There's no building. There's no the next week. It looks like the first time he's ever played football again. There's no trajectory. This is like it's just rock bottom. Like, literally the first game of the season was a single digit QBR. And then the 5th game of the season, like, there's no building upon anything. So how are we expected to believe that there is any upward momentum in this?
Yeah. The question that our show we're going to ask tonight is, what do you do, right? If you're the Browns, like, where do you go from here, right?
The camera operator of the game knew where to go. He kept flashing over to Jameis, just sitting on the sideline.
Everybody knows
was that. They weren't even saying it in the broadcast. It wasn't like they were teeing him up. The camera operator was just like,
no, everybody knows where to go. But, like, so here's the conversation that we really dug into last night, right? And I want to get your thought. Did you read Pete's article?
Yes.
About ownership?
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree?
No.
You don't?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm not saying, like, I'm not. This is the Watson versus the offensive line conversation, where it's either he's bad or this is bad. Like, I don't think that it's solely, like, it's hard for me to believe that this is a Stefanski decision.
It's hard for me to believe that too, but
we're talking about a quarterback. We're talking about a coach who didn't even have the authority to bench a quarterback on a rookie contract, whether he's healthy or not. Like, it's hard for me to all of a sudden believe.
Where does that come from, though?
What do you mean?
With Baker?
Yeah. There's been a blind spot with the quarterback position the entire time, whether someone else is deciding whether the quarterback's starting or not, whether they can come off the field or not.
I think he had the say there. Baker said he was healthy. He kept wanting to play. I don't think Stefanski wanted to sit him. He kept saying he's our best chance to win, and I don't think he was wrong. Case Keenum was not good.
I think that there were several games where Case Keenum gives you a better option to win, even though that it's. But I mean, I'm not saying that it's a great option, but I'm saying there were games he should not have been out there. There was the Indianapolis game last year. There's no way Watson should have even made the attempt. We could tell from jump that was flatlined. You know what I mean?
So you think so? But here's Pete's point, and here's why I agree. What benefit is it of the Haslams at this point to dictate who plays?
See, that's the thing. I'm not saying this has them dictating. I'm saying that there's going to have to be a unilateral decision made amongst all before the hook's pulled. And it's not just all in Stefanski's lap. There's no way. Like, because then you're telling me he's self-sabotaging. If Haslam wants to pull the plug would have been pulled. You think Stefanski's going into his office and being defiant, being like, no, I'm playing him? Like, there's no way.
I think it's his decision.
I can't get there. So you're telling me he's self-sabotaging his own job? He's putting he wants out of here? Like this
That's
is
what I don't understand, because I'm like, but if he really felt that, and he should feel this way, which is what's so confusing about this, right?
Mm-hmm.
He should feel that he wants to sit him down and he wants to play Winston, right? He should feel that way. And I am of the belief and confused by the concept that he hasn't yet, right?
Yeah.
Which makes me initially, and it's why everybody is making the sweeping determination that there's something else at play here, right? It's not him, because common sense would tell you Stefanski's going to sit him down. Like, what's he thinking, right? But who is holding him back at this point, and why?
That's the point. Like the plan is the plan to see this through for this whole season, no matter what. Like no matter how bad it looks, because then why are we here? Why are we watching? Literally, we're watching the most inept offense we've watched since '99. Think about that sentence.
Do you think what? How's Jimmy benefit from that? How does anybody benefit from that?
Because we'd feel a lot different about the skin in the game if we had 230 whatever million invested in it to see it through.
He don't care about that. He cares about the Brook Park. He cares about the dome.
No,
that's his most important.
You're telling me Stefanski's being defiant to what Jimmy wants right now.
I'm not saying he's being defiant. I'm saying he has decided not to pull the string yet.
I don't think it's just his decision. I don't think he can just make that determination. I think it's going to be unilateral. And it might even be.
I don't think that anybody's stopping him at this point. I don't think he's being defiant. I don't think anybody's knocking down his door saying, hey, you got to sit him down. I wish they would.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're saying it's your decision. Maybe him and Barry's decision collectively.
Maybe Dee Podesta. Maybe things we don't know.
I don't think Dee Podesta has any say in that.
We don't know. We don't know what Rasputin does behind the scenes.
Right.
Someone has
to Pete's point, which makes a lot of sense. If that's the case, he just got signed an extension. He has all the leverage in the world. If somebody is telling him you have to play him and he wants to sit him, right? He could be like, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to be head coach where you're not going to let me play who I want to play. Either fire me or let me play who I want to play. If he gets fired, he looks like the golden goose coming out of this. He'll get the best job available on the market and get paid multi-million dollars for years on the extension he just signed.
Yeah, that's going to happen.
He has all the leverage in the world, so it makes no sense for him not to play who he wants now.
That's assuming that he has the power to do so, man.
But even if he doesn't, like, that's all he has to do, right? That's all he has to say.
In game, yes. In game,
coach.
He could be like, screw this. In game, there's nothing you can do to stop me.
I'm the head coach. You can't tell me who to start as quarterback, right? Okay, fine. You want to tell me you want to stop me from benching this guy? I'm out. Either fire me or let me play who I want. He's out. He looks like the best guy on the market. He'll get a job right away. And he gets paid for the next 3-4 years on a deal he already signed this last summer with the Haslams. So why in the world would you not flex that muscle if you're him?
So you're telling me he thinks Watson gives them the best option?
I don't know. I'm confused because
I find it so doubtful that he's self-sabotaging the team.
So you think he just has no spine then? And he's just doing what he's told without any regard
I don't think he has the authority to do what you think he does.
But I just explained how he does have the authority.
You think that you explained how you think he has the authority. That's what you think.
No, that's fact. He gets paid no matter what.
Yeah. You think he wants to force kids out of school? Do you think you know what I mean? Like that. I find hardly he's self-sabotaging his job in Cleveland and the team.
And if it's a job where he can't decide who he wants to play, why would you want that job?
It's because it's 1 of 32.
But he can get the next one open, Case.
He might. Yes, I'm not disagreeing. If you fired Kevin Stefanski, he might wait a cycle and then be the bell of the ball.
He'll get paid millions of dollars. He'll be the next guy hired. He'll look like a hero if they fired him.
He's playing him then. You tell me why he's choosing him.
But you tell me what. I don't know. I don't know.
What I'm saying, dude.
Like, I can't point to there's no other explanation. But there's no other.
I see the look on his face on the sidelines, man. He ain't happy with this.
It doesn't make sense for anybody else to hold him back from doing it.
The investment.
It's sunk cost, Case.
I know you're not telling me anything I don't know. I'm not saying that's the reason to do it. I'm saying that's the reason we're seeing it. We're seeing it because all the decision makers as a whole have yet to see enough. When they see enough, it'll be gone. They'll be off the field. You're still going to have to pay him. I don't know if you tell him to go home. I don't know what you tell him. I don't know how you pull the Band-Aid off. But the Band-Aid needs to come off. You can't heal until you understand.
You're giving the title of head coach bigger meaning. I'm not. Maybe, but here's my point. Maybe it doesn't have that meaning, but he has to claim that at this point.
I hope so.
When
they came out of halftime and Watson took the field, it blew my mind. Like this has to end. This is madness.
Maybe
this is the definition of insanity.
Maybe he thinks it's not a position to put Winston. Maybe he's waiting for something. Maybe he's waiting for week 7 when they come home and Chubb to come back all at the same time.
I said that. Yeah, that's what I said about 3 weeks ago. I said that he has this is the 3-week runway.
I don't know, but to me, Casey, it makes no sense for anybody else to hold him back. Like everybody wants to blame Haslam, but it makes no sense for Haslam to do it. All the money he paid, he's going to lose more money. He's going to look worse by forcing him to be on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Like that scene, week 7 coming home, if Watson is still on the field,
he's
going to lose any chance of anybody backing public money for a dome in Brook Park. He'll lose more money in a day there than he did on the entire contract on Watson.
I'm not disagreeing with anything you're saying, dude. I more than anything want Jameis Winston to play football.
But do you see the logic in it, though?
Like, no, I didn't. I never said I didn't. But I'm also at the same time, if it was just one person's decision, so you're just saying it's Stefanski versus the world. They want him to be benched, and he's just saying
that.
And I'm saying then behind the scenes, there's other things happening that are just they're letting us play out for whatever reason. I don't know. It's hurting us. It's hurting everyone. But they're letting it happen.
If you're Stefanski, why would you allow that?
I don't know.
And why would you want to be head coach of a team that doesn't let you pick your quarterback, that the best player that gives you a chance to win?
It's a great question.
I get it 4 years ago, but now you have an extension.
Mm-hmm.
You get paid no matter what, and you have the reputation of 2 coach of the years. You could walk out that door now, and you will get the next open job and get paid by Cleveland for 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you listening to anything anybody is telling you?
It's a great question that I don't have. None of us have the answers to this.
I know.
I just know that it's not one person.
That it's not his decision.
I'm saying it's not one person. Is what I'm saying.
But if that, like, he has that ability, right, to do that.
He should.
If he wanted
yes, the head coach should 1,000,000% be able to decide who is on the field and who's not on the field, regardless of how much they get paid or what title they have. But I think that they're sticking to some sort of plan for whatever asinine reason that I can't explain to you because I don't know what that plan is.
I don't get it either.
But that's what's happening right in front of us.
He has to be included in that blame because he has that option.
Oh, well, I'm not trying to absolve him. I'm just saying it's not all him. I think they're waiting. It's something unilateral. There is a triumvirate.
Like you can't blame anybody. Like you can't just assume that somebody else is doing anything when he has that option. Case he has the option to say, either fire me or let me play who I want. He has that option. He's not exercising that. That's on him.
Okay. All right. I'm just saying, man, it's unilateral. There's no way that this is just on him. You're absolving Barry and Haslam. They're like, hey, Kevin, I don't know why I haven't pulled him yet. Like,
what good does it do Haslam to keep playing him at this point?
I don't know. What good is it doing Stefanski? If you could point any logic to any of that, you can apply that same question to all 3 of them, and you can't come up with an answer for all 3. So that doesn't automatically mean it means one person.
It makes I know, but he is the guy who has the leverage to make the call or walk or get fired. Say fire me, he'll look like a freaking hero, Casey. And it does Haslam no good to continue playing this guy
when it's just infuriating your fan base that you want to support a dome.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
makes
You
no
lost
sense.
so many season tickets on Monday morning. So many people called and canceled their season tickets. Like
you're hurting you're just hurting yourself at this point. If you're Haslam, he knows that. He's got to know that.
Yeah, I would hope. I would hope he does.
The only person it makes sense to try to hang on to this at this point that I can make any sense of is Barry.
Maybe, yeah.
Right? Because what's the move from here? It's not a rebuild. You can't rebuild.
You said it brilliantly, man, and things I think I know, and I don't want to spoil anything you might be doing in your show, but I'd like to talk about some of it.
Yeah,
because it's a pivot. It's 100% a pivot. And you're talking about the in-season pivot. It's either you move to Winston now or you move to DTR later. For me, it's the bye. If you're going to do it before the bye, it's Winston. If you're going to do it after the bye, it's DTR. But that's the eventuality, and they're just letting this string play out. And they're just hoping they throw enough reps at it that all of a sudden something clicks. But whatever the plan is, the plan's FUBAR, man. But they're, for whatever reason, they are seeing it through. I can't make heads or tail of why. I was beside myself when they came out of halftime and the move wasn't made. And I don't get what you don't need. Jameis doesn't need a week of prep to go out there and sling. You're down 2 scores. Let him go out there and do the thing. But you stuck with him. And for whatever reason, I can't put it all on any one person's lap. This is unilateral failure to understand the depth of your situation.
I want to explain a little bit further here. Chris, I'm not asking him to quit his job. And Red Leader, I don't know what this means, but if you can elaborate on that ego leadership, I don't know. I'm saying as head coach of an NFL team,
you should have
all 32 head coaches should have the authority to play what players they want. That's their job. Like GM, you get the groceries, coach, right? Go back to Parcells. You make the dinner, right? You decide who plays. You decide who sits. That's how it should go, right? Now, I'm not saying it's always that way. I'm not naive enough to think that there aren't meddling owners and other things like that and people with skin in the game, like Barry and whatnot. They're very, what's the word they always use?
Lockstep.
They're in lockstep all the time, right? But I'm saying that I'm not telling him to quit his job. I'm saying because his job should carry the weight to make this move, and you just got signed to an extension, you now have the leverage to say either if someone is dictating to him who plays, I don't think anybody is, but if someone was, Haslam, Barry, whoever, Jimmy from the mailroom, it doesn't matter. They're dictating to you who plays. You say, fine, that's it. Either you let me play who I think can win us games, or fire me. I'm not saying he quits. I'm saying either fire me or let me play who I want. We don't know the terms of Stefanski's contract. We know the length of it. It's 4 years.
Yeah.
It's a 4-year extension. So I would guess is upwards of $10 million around there a year. He's probably owed like $40-50 million. Ballpark.
I would guess, yeah. 2-time coach of the year, little gravitas.
Yeah, ballpark. So the money usually isn't public with coaches, Greg. So but it is 4 years long, the extension, both of them. So if he says, let me play him or fire me, and they're like, well, we feel so strongly that we want to continue to play this terrible quarterback that we sunk all this money into, that we would rather fire 2-time coach of the year and eat the $50 million on top of the $230 we already ate, then that's on them. Or they can say, play who you want. But if they fire him, he looks like a freaking hero to everybody in the league, and he gets the next job. So it makes no sense. And if you're him, if you're Kevin, you have to assume some blame at this point, because that's your option now. Those are part of your options now.
Yeah.
If you want your football team to win, if you want to sit him down,
here's the thing. I think they're just sticking to the plan. And here's my thought. And I said this before. I think this is it. I think we're at 0 hour. The plane has hit the mountain. I don't think you're marching the same operation back into Cleveland October 20th.
You can't.
So he's saying, but we also can't base anything dude says in a press conference because it's all coach speak. He's never going to say anything salacious that anyone else has to answer for. So he's just saying all the right things. No, we didn't think about making a quarterback change, yada, yada, yada. I think that there's going to be a whole different tone after this week. I think
I do too. I think this is the last week.
The plan. They're just seeing the plan through. It's a shitty plan. I hate the plan. That's where I'll leave that.
I think this is the last week for Watson.
Yep.
Boys, we ain't benching what? Okay, so we ain't benching Watson. It's not happening. He's a dead cap of 172 million.
It won't be a dead cap because you're still going to pay him.
The money doesn't matter. He's going to sit on the roster. You're going to pay him.
Yeah.
And then, yes.
And then after 25, you can try to get out of it.
And then after 2025, you make him a post-June 1st cut, and you split it in half, and you eat it over 2 years, and you're out. It's not that bad. It's doable, actually.
Yeah. Well, the Broncos are showing you right now.
Yeah. And the problem is, I keep seeing all this rebuild. You can't rebuild.
Mm-mm.
Part of in this, I never really thought about it like this until this happened, right? Until we got to this bad case. But, everybody talks about how much will that be, Red Leader? Let me bring up Jack's article. But what part of what we didn't think about when everybody's calling Barry a genius for the way that he
we're in too deep. We're into this.
All these contracts is
we're in too deep.
If you wanted to rebuild right now, you couldn't.
Oh, it would literally the avalanche of dead cap that comes due.
Yeah. Yep. You can't
because you credit carded everything out.
You have so much money out in bonuses right now. If you started trading off those pieces, all that money rolls up into 1 year. It's impossible to do at this point. They have to pivot and try to be competitive, which I think is the right move anyways. Hosey. Jose Ramirez, home run, 2-1, Gardos in the 5th or the 6th. Huge home run. Huge. It was 1-1, FYI, for those of you at home. Sorry. Monster game tonight. No, are you not a baseball guy at all, Case?
Nope. No, and here's the thing. If I was, I'd be a Reds fan because that's the way I grew up. I grew up in that cross section of Ohio. But no, I don't care about baseball. I watch football. I watch.
Call me Guy. Is he calling me Guy?
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not familiar with his style. I'll call you buddy.
Answer this, Guy.
I'm not the guy, buddy.
Well, all right, Chris. I'll be respectful back to you, despite calling me Guy. Are we watching now to see how the Browns handle the Watson mistake more than we're watching for a win? No. I mean, no, you're good. You're good, brother. You're good. You're good. I can take
about it. Some besmirchment on my behalf now from Jeff.
Trust me, Chris, I get a lot worse from people in response to my articles. I had like 60 comments from the article I wrote about not being able to blow it up and having to pivot.
Mm-hmm.
Of people just going in on me, saying I'm a lunatic for saying this. The roster has talent on it and all kinds of stuff.
Because it feels bad. Just because it feels bad. But you can't ignore the fact that you have a whole host of guys just coming into their physical primes. A whole host of super talented players. And I know it feels bad right now. And I get it.
You don't want to admit that that they can be this bad with the talent they have, but it's true.
And that's the other thing too, though, because people always be like, "Well, you can't put this all in one guy," and I'm not putting it all in one guy. There's plenty of bad to go around, but I can't even evaluate how bad it is with a trigger man who won't pull the trigger. Like I need a guy back there functional so I can even tell you what's working, what's not working, what play calls are there. Because when I watch y'all 22, I see open dudes, I see answers, and I don't see anyone trying to get to them. You know what I mean? So I need to. That's the change you need to make to evaluate what's really going on. Until that happens, we're just spinning our wheels, man.
There's plenty of open guys.
Yeah.
And 14th in open in clean pockets. I mean, that just says it right there. That's middle of the pack. Here it is. All right, let's take a look at this, right? Just to help everybody understand what getting out of this looks like.
Mhm.
He is in year 3 of his deal. So far, he has earned just under 138 million of the 230. Jack has color coded each payment of 46 million, so it's easier to follow. Goes from the payment made to the player each year versus the salary cap number. Okay. Why the Cleveland Browns do what they do, we don't need to know that. But here's the spending, though. Holy crap.
Mhm.
329.3 million this year, by far the most ever. How they deal with the contract moving forward. Why there is no need to panic. I want to look at the out numbers. Here it is, I think. Is that right? I'm trying to blow this up. If Watson struggles in the 2024 season, either because of injury or play, then you don't cut him. That is a panic move, and you end up with dead cap of 172 million next season, when the cap is potentially going to be around 275 million. That would be insane, eating 62.8% of the salary cap for one player in a single year. Instead, we take that same money and split it out over 3 seasons. Rather than 62.8, you're doing 13.5 next year, 15.4 in 26, and 27.5 in 27. So that 62.8 all in 1 year becomes 56.4 spread across 3 seasons. Since the largest sum is in the 27 season, it is plenty of time to be ready for it because the cap goes up every year, even though it wouldn't.
That's what I was going to say. That might even be a lesser if the cap goes up more than they expect, which seems to happen now. It seems to jump up more than they think it's going to.
It did jump up this year more than expected, right?
And all these new TV deals and Amazon getting involved,
Exactly. So how you do the above is restructure his contract on the first day of the 26th league year in March. Then on the second day, you use a post-June 1st cut. So through the 25 season, he has to sit. You can send him home. You can sit him, whatever.
He sat a year in Houston.
I don't care.
He's done
Doesn't
this.
matter.
He's done this before. He's had to sit a year in Houston and get paid.
So,
he got paid for that too.
So day 1 of the 26th league year, you restructure his contract again. Day 2, post June 1st designation on the cut, right? So while he could spend the 25 season as the most expensive backup quarterback in the league, or not even on the, at home, you have no real salary cap issues since Jimmy Haslam is spending $49 million more than league average in cash each year. So that makes up the difference of Watson's $46 million a year contract. So it's basically, as Jack explains, Haslam's spending $49 million more than the league average. Watson's contract, $46 million. It's effectively free money because of the way that they've structured this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So ultimately, that number becomes. Let me see if I can blow this up. What does that number become? Do you know?
Not off the top, no.
So it's not. It's like it goes to. Let me blow this up so we can look at it closer. Hey, now, way too big.
I can't even see it.
I know. I'm about to bring it up. I'm trying to do it.
I thought I was already supposed to be
here.
looking. Didn't realize this is an open book test.
So 26. This is what it looks like after you do it again in 26. All right, here's what we need to be looking at. Let me bring it up for everybody. So why would he do it? Oh, Chris, I know you weren't, brother. You're good, but you're good, man. You've been great contribution last night and tonight. I thought you were calling me Guy. That's
tensions are high.
Around anyway.
Tensions are high. You slipped the wrong guy in there, man.
Yeah, no, and I was joking around anyways because, dude, people call me a lot worse than that, Chris. Man, you're good, brother. What is? It's tied. How did I miss that? Am I behind on the stream? Oh, you bastard. Thanks, Paul.
Jeff, I see you. Stop it.
So I'm guessing this is going to be a home run from McKinstry. Yep. Oppo. My stream is behind. It's 2-2. Son of a bitch.
I don't get emotionally involved. I got enough going on.
I mean, you should give your attention to an organization that deserves it somewhat, right?
Yeah, I'm failing in that aspect.
Slip the wrong guy in the turkey hole and it's a problem. Oh, I've got a video that did you watch last week's show at all?
Yeah. And I was pissed. You guys got the breakdown and it wasn't Jim Bob Cooter. It was Gruden.
Yeah. I'll play it again. You didn't, were you pissed I didn't save it for you?
No, I just that was a huge reveal. No, man, you got to do what you got to do.
Dude, Tim Miller sent it to me
last week.
Tim Miller discovered it and sent it to me. All right, so
I saw that. I had phone service when I was at work. The towers were down here, so I'd come home to nothing.
Wait, is there a wrong hole? All right. So here is what we're looking at. So we're in 2024 right now. Can you guys see that my arrow on there? When I do that, can you see the arrow?
I can. Yes.
All right. So, hypothetically, first day of 2026, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where am I here? You're restructuring it again, which the restructure is right here. The 2026 restructure is in pink. So you're once again taking that contract, spreading it out over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years, right? And then you are cutting him and designating him post June 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
At that point, you'll take a cap hit for I'm wrong. 26. At that point, you take what, 46 and 89 together and split it in half. So it's like 72, I think, is if I recall, right? So what did he say the percentage was?
27 and 27.
13, 5, 15, 4, 27. Oh, so you already got it laid out. All right. So in 2026, you pay 46 million. And then you pay the 89,507 rolls up into 2027, right?
Yeah, you split that.
Yeah. So you split I don't think you split it. I think that's what's left.
But right? I think you get to split it over 2 seasons.
Either way, the figure is 89.
It becomes stomachable.
And 46. And
which sounds crazy. But like, given where we're at, that's stomachable. You could do that.
Yeah, because of where the cap is going to go.
Well, the Broncos just did that. They owed Russ 85 when they cut him, and they split it 1 year, 53, 32 the next. So they paid him 53 this year to not play for him, and then they're going to pay him 32 next year to not play for him.
This is the key right here from Jack Duffin, by the way. How you do the above is restructure his contract on the first day of 26 league year in March. Then on the second day, post June 1st cut. So while you could spend the 2025 season as the most expensive backup in the league, you have no real salary cap issues since Jimmy Haslam is spending $49 million more than league average in cash each year. Why there's no need to panic. Based on the Cleveland Browns operating model, if the salary cap in 25 is $275 million, they will probably invest something like $337 million in cash on the 53-man roster. Watson would take up $46 million of this as the most expensive quarterback in the NFL history. There would still be $291 million left for the other 252 roster spots. To put that in comparison, only 5 other teams, Eagles, Jaguars, 49ers, Falcons, and Dolphins, are on course to spend more than that in their entire 2024 roster, quarterbacks included. They could easily bring in a top bridge quarterback like Cousins, who is due to cost $27.5 next year. They could certainly turn to the draft, but early reports are it isn't a great class at this stage. The key fact is money isn't going to be an issue for them in the search of another quarterback, even with Watson still on the team. Myth number 2, 89,507 dead cap ruins them in 2027. If the Browns follow this model, they are left with a large dead cap in 2027 when Watson isn't on the team. At the same time, they're paying him $0 cash that year because it's all been paid out in bonuses. So they could easily pay a new quarterback whatever they want, backloaded how they do with all of their deals, and sign a $60 million a year quarterback that could be a 4% of the salary cap in 2027. Even the worst salary cap managers could work this out. Andrew Berry talks about sequencing deals, and this is all it would be.
Follow Jack Duffin if you're not already.
Genius. Incredibly interesting stuff and factual. So if you Chris, with all of the money spent, I think, Case, I don't even think I would want him in the building.
Yeah, you pay him to screw off,
I don't want him in the building now. I think he's part of the problem. The unexplained underlying issue I wrote about 3 weeks ago, I think it could be him.
Yeah.
If you're the defense, are you balling out as hard as you can? Do you have any faith that your quarterback's going to go drive you down the field and win a game?
No, you can't. Yeah. See, that was my whole point. Like the last week when they're like, "Oh, you played okay against the Raiders." I'm like, he had 2 opportunities to go win the game. 2 opportunities. Twice you handed the man the ball to go
didn't play okay. Yeah.
And nothing. The week before it was 3 times. You had 3 opportunities. Like you so much of being a quarterback is you're a leader of men. Well, who's giving the pregame speeches? Is it him? No. And in fact, when the backup quarterback is giving the pregame speeches, do you see him in the
He's not even there. He's not even there.
No. So you don't have that. He's not a leader of men. And then you have when you step in that huddle and you're calling that play, everyone that looks back in your eyes has to believe in you. They have to believe that you're going to take the reins and you're going to make things happen. There's no way they believe that, and they're all saying the right things. No one's acting insubordinate out loud, but they feel that way. When they go home and talk to their spouses or whoever, you know what I mean? Like this jerk off, you know what I mean? Like he's literally, there's so many primes of careers that are being wasted this year. And I hate the plan. I can't stand the plan.
I hate it too. I feel like they should have pivoted out of it already.
Me too.
But here we are. And it's strange. And as a Stefanski supporter, I'm at a loss, Case.
Yeah, well, we can't make sense. We follow this team as close as any human could follow a team, and we can't make sense of this one issue. I don't get it. Like, I understand that you have to pay them all this money and you need to see what you have, but we see what we have. We've seen that. That's happened. It's played out, and there's not health concerns. It's not like, well, he's got an injury and none of that. Like, this isn't working. that you cannot win like this. So I made the mistake of charting out all the offensive possessions this year, right? You've had 59 offensive possessions.
God bless you.
You've had 19 3-and-outs. That is 32% of the time. That'll kill your defense as fast as anything will.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You've got 6 turnovers, but you also have 6 fourth down, like ending it on downs. To me, that's a turnover. It didn't count as a turnover, but when you end on downs, man, like this is as inept of an offense as there is in the NFL. It is also the league's most expensive offense.
Yep.
Like it's unwatchable. I know people, shout out to Jacob Roach, who didn't even watch the second half of the game.
Yeah.
Because you knew what was up. As long as they march that guy back out there, this is going nowhere. And I don't know what the ceiling is going to be with Winston. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect. There's going to be.
He'll get the ball out. He'll throw the ball.
I'm saying that, like when we talk about like Amari Cooper's not having a good season. He's not. He also has 45% of his targets are off target. It's a record.
Yeah. That's
Since 2011, there hasn't been a player with this many passes thrown in their direction off target.
Like, that's an absurd number.
You can't make this up. Like it's as bad gets, man. We have sat through some crazy. Just close your eyes. Picture that jersey. You know the jersey I'm talking about. All those damn names. He is so low on that list of performance.
He's the worst.
It's unbelievable. Like
how is he the worst?
If you'd have came with a time machine back in like 2019 and been like, see that guy right there making all those plays, he's going to be the worst quarterback you ever have.
You ever have.
It's fucking crazy, man.
And you know who's in a close third? Him last year.
So I was just a second ago, I was talking about having the opportunity to go win a game. It could be an ugly game, but you have the opportunity to go win the game. I saw DTR do it as a rookie against Pittsburgh.
Yep.
I saw PJ Walker do it.
Guts.
Go win a game.
They both played with guts.
It's toothless, man. I don't
know what it is. He doesn't play with heart. I'm not saying he quits because he plays like it's not like he's
not there. It's just not there. You can't squeeze blood out of a stone. Like it's no longer there for him.
Yeah, it's gone.
It's typically. I said it last time I was on. There was Tiger Woods before the car wreck. He was amazing. Yeah. After that, he was not the same person. So the incidents, so many of them. I don't know. I'm 24 or whatever it is, and he was off the field for so long. Like that guy is not here. Like it's not this. Like I don't know what's like. You wanted to believe. Like I understand the reason you go get him. I see he was an elevator. He made people better around him. You could say the offensive line's not good here. It wasn't good in Houston. He still made shit happen. That guy's no longer with us. So expecting him to all of a sudden snap out of this and be that guy again, that's futility, man. There's a lesson in futility. And we're learning the hard way.
Here's a good question. Before we go into, and I wanted to get your opinion on like what collectively minds together, chat included. Mm-hmm. What's the best path forward? If we were, I mean, realistically, like what can they do? What's the best path forward? We know the financials. We just went over it all, right?
Yeah.
Didn't he have a great game versus us? Zook, who you talking about, boy? Raiders? I can't believe, and this is not an insult.
The bar is so low. The bar is so low.
I can't believe how starkly, and this isn't an insult against her because I saw a comment in the chat last week. They thought it was cheesy that I was insulting Mary Kay Cabot, and I wasn't really insulting her. I was just saying that
if I do,
I was speaking the truth. She tends to sensationalize things, right? So from time to time. Why is she so starkly defending him? Have you heard her recently?
She has me blocked, Brad. So no, not at all.
You can listen to her interviews though.
Well, I mean, I could do a lot of things I don't want to do. That's one of them. I'm not doing it.
I know, but like she is starkly defending him. Like he still has it. He played great against the Raiders. They scored 10 freaking points, Casey.
Oh, yeah,
they scored 10 points.
You're getting 2 drives a game, dude. I've been saying it. You're only getting 2 drives a game, man. It's unwatchable.
In the
I'm
end of
not
that
trying to
game,
stoke a fire here, but just also who's she close with?
I know.
If that's her messaging, we'll see if it keeps up after this week. That's what I'll say.
Yeah.
I think it's part of the plan, man.
Killing me with that. For 1 for 13 on third downs last week.
Mm-hmm.
The one was in garbage time that they got.
Yes.
So they were 0 for 12.
Mm-hmm. I think was it 1 in 19 in the last 2 games?
Yeah. So, and then at the end of the game,
he played great in?
At the end of the game prior, they were 0 for 8.
Yeah. He played great that game. What are you talking about?
So they went through a span where they were 0 for 20 on third downs, Casey. Yeah. That's hard to do.
Yeah.
That's hard to be that bad.
Deshaun Kaiser never did that. Johnny didn't do that.
Yeah, I don't understand Gregory either.
Kevin Hogan. How deep can we go? Players who didn't go over 20 on third down.
Browns need to start Winston for morale. Yeah, I mean, it would be an instant lift, right? Well, we have a chance to see if DTR is our backup. There's
not even a lift for us. Like we're like you said, man. The national media they got the bats out and they're trying to take us to a cornfield and put us in a hole, right? But if you start Winston and then you get Nick Chubb back, all of a sudden the vibes are so good that we're the feel good story a month from now.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, and we're exciting. It'd be exciting.
Yeah.
Ken
Dorsey. I'm going to ask you about that in a second. All right. So, here's a question before we go into the last thing I'll talk about is what you think should be next. But before we get to that, 2 things. When they went and got Watson, and I've come to you tell me how you understand this. I've come to understand that this idea was really born from Barry and Stefanski, right? And then
I heard Barry was the driving force,
and Stefanski was in on it, and then they took it to the ownership. Now, what happened after they got ownership involved and he was in, like taking it to $230 million guaranteed? I don't know who signed off on that. That may have been
That's Jimmy.
Ownership going rogue, you know what I mean? But
yeah, I don't think he liked the idea that Deshaun dismissed him and was like, "You guys are out of the running," and he was like, "Throw the vault at him," and here we are.
So, either way, was the process, besides the contract, was the process correct in trying to get him at the time? Like, they're going to get killed for this.
Yeah, no, that's the you said the word, and like it is so true because it's sunken cost. Because you can either rip the Band-Aid off now and let us start to heal, or you let this play out, and then you got to clean house, and then you're starting from scratch, and that is so much bigger of a bill, and then just eating this. It didn't work, man. I get it. You took a big swing, and we're basing this off the player that we saw in 2020. Now, we didn't make the move till 2022, so that's after a year of inactivity. But I went back when the whole thing was going on. I started watching tape. I watched every snap he had in Houston. Okay, and my takeaways were I came back, I didn't see an anticipatory thrower, but I saw a playmaker. I saw a guy out there who was making things happen. You know, so he's not necessarily killing it in structure, but he was also a guy who found answers. Even in games, he would start slow, but he would figure out what the defenses were doing to him. Now, how much of that's Bill O'Brien filling that into his head, I don't know. Well, you know, but he was finding answers. And then, like there were fourth quarters of games where he would just take over. Like you don't see that from just mechanical. Like he's just not just some avatar for the coach. Like he would go out there and make things happen. So, like if you're getting that player right there, yes, then it was worth it. But we didn't get that player. No, but I can't be mad at this taking the swing, man.
That's what I'm saying. The process, though, to go after him.
it's a mistake, obviously, now.
Yeah, it didn't work.
But
so of course, we're gonna be like,
it didn't work.
Yeah.
But was the process okay? The contract, no. Should have never given him the contract, right?
Yeah, I think that was the ego part, though. I think that the ego got in the way when he was like, the Browns are out of the running, and then you
But if it worked, everybody be saying how genius it was.
Yeah. I will say the one thing that was on the reservation was what I said earlier. He was not being an anticipatory thrower made it feel weird to me that he was going to be in a Stefanski style offense, which needs that.
That's my thing, right? Like, he never seemed like a Stefanski fit.
But they came out of those conversations, and I remember them talking about all this play action and under center and how it was going to be. And like, I was like, that's not what I saw him do. I've never seen the dude do that. But they sounded excited about it working. And
yeah. Well, they've pivoted to this offense now, which is a lot of Dorsey, it feels like. And you can go back and actually watch the Bills from last year a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It looks just like this.
Except you have a trigger man.
Yeah.
You got a guy who will pull the trigger. What's funny is how much we said about these option routes, and they've had nothing to do with shit this year because we're not even getting to that stage of the offense.
So things in the we're talking about the process of actually getting him. Things they didn't account for because they did so much. Josh says it's not Dorsey. It is Dorsey.
The shotgun, the spreading him out.
I'm not blaming Dorsey. I'm saying they're running a lot of Dorsey's stuff right now, and I don't like the offense.
Well, they're trying to squeeze blood out of a stone. Like they were like, it wasn't working this way. Let's go this way.
And Deshaun had all the say in the world in picking what they're running right now. So you can't blame that either, right? You can't blame Fit either. He had all the say in the world in this.
That's what they're saying. That's what we're hearing.
The things they did not account for. The impact that the off-the-field stuff would have on him.
Yeah. There was no,
Just as Dorsey's scheme is agnostic. To a point, yes. I get what you're saying, Jeb, but
concepts. So they run all the same concepts they were running in Buffalo.
Yeah. Yeah, they didn't account for the impact that it would have on him personally off the field. Right?
Yeah. No, there's no way. There's no way to account for that. There's no way to account for how someone's mental makeup, how they're going to deal with that. Because that level of adversity, I don't know nothing about it.
I know, but you try to. Like in the process, though, you try. Just saying nobody talks about what Reese adds. Well, we talked about that's false. If you were watching the summer, we talked about Tommy Reese a ton.
Yep. He was the reason I was hopeful because Dorsey doesn't do much motion.
Yeah, I was hoping that his Reese, especially with the motion that he brought, and even more so Charlton, who's the run game coordinator.
Yeah.
But Charlton was even more of a dress it up guy with motion and whatnot, and they're running none. Now that may be because the offensive line can't even get out of a snap without going off sides, but they're not running enough motion still.
Yeah.
But they might not be able to at this point. Yeah, so you try to evaluate the character of the guy and how he'll react to what's going on in his life, right? And it's a guess.
Yeah, completely. 100%.
It's a guess. Should have looked at Tiger Woods more.
Is that crazy? Isn't that a crazy parallel?
Took him like 7 years.
By then, his body could no longer do
Yeah.
the things he needed it to do to be himself.
Does he fit with what and who the Browns are?
No. No.
Did they account for that? Did they think about that?
No. This is following a season where we saw the 13 seconds happen to Buffalo, and you're desperate. You're like, man, if we don't have a dude, we have no shot in this conference.
Yep.
How do we get a dude? And then it was this mad scramble to get a dude. And then revisionist history will just tell you the Browns made this horrible trade. They won't tell you that 12 teams were interested in making the trade, and 4 teams were finalists to actually. They 12 of those 4 of those 12 actually came up with trade packages that the Texans approved. And then it became about negotiation. And then that's when the Browns ramped everything up to, and they won the negotiation. What a win. What a prize.
Yeah, what a prize. The other thing they didn't account for, and I don't know how many they missed this one, is how much people would hate it.
But they were going under the consideration that winning cures all, and you could feel as bad about it as you want now. But if you're getting that guy from 2020, then you win. And then, fast forward 2 seasons and you're in the conference championship, you won't be having those same feelings.
Agreed.
That's what they're banking on in that.
Yeah, that's what they were banking on. But people walked away. People walked away.
So many. I know people.
My brother-in-law. Yeah, my brother-in-law.
Stephen Thomas left here.
Yep. Yeah. OBR member Stephen Thomas walked away. My brother-in-law threw everything Browns owned out. I don't think he'll ever watch a game. I mean, he'll watch a game, but he's not a fan anymore. Doesn't care. Doesn't whatever. There was a lot. Ja making the Kobe effect. So Kobe that's what Deshaun doesn't have. Is what Kobe had. Right?
Yeah.
Kobe was falsely accused of sexual assault in Colorado. During all of that stuff that was going on, he was going to court during the day and dropping 45 at night.
Yeah. Yeah. Different. The ability to compartmentalize.
Built different.
You know what I mean? It's not, obviously not everyone can do that. And at that level, like obviously Kobe was doing it at the highest level.
Gregory, quit telling me this.
What inning is it in?
6th. I haven't seen it yet, but Greg spoiled it and said that it's 3-2. I guess. No, I'm just kidding, Greg. I don't care. It's fine. There's a bloop.
It's just bad news, Greg. It's not going to take
a bloop single scores the run. Is there 2 outs too? There's 2 outs too. God damn it. Yeah, and then I think they just misjudged, and it's hard to say that they misjudged his character because the thing is a character thing, right? But for some reason, because they invested in him and they went in front of us and told us everything that they wanted to tell us about him and that they believed in the human being that he was and all this stuff. But here's the thing. I mean, think about how crazy that sounds now.
I know. Like you're trying to sell a fan base. You're trying to save tickets. You're trying to, you're saying all the right things, and you're hoping that this man toes the line. And you don't know he's getting suspended for 11 games. You know something's going to happen, but you don't think it's that bad. I remember there was anywhere from 2 to 6 games was the rumor, and then the hammer comes down, and MC says he misses AVP.
AVP probably misses us.
Yeah, he's really working miracles in New England, isn't he?
I brought this up last night, but this is super frustrating. League average disguised coverages, Casey.
Schwartz ain't doing that shit. He ain't doing that.
Third last in the NFL at 19.2%. Come on, man.
Yeah. If
that's gonna
be the case, don't even do it.
You've got to do more.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to do more.
Can they handle more?
You got to try.
Oh no, this is implementation. It's too late now. Like that's part of the install.
But I mean, if you're doing it 19.2% of the time, you can turn up the amount that you're doing it.
Yeah.
You can add. You should be adding stuff every week.
Yeah, you would think. Being down Thornhill, being down maybe Denzel this week, it doesn't make it easier to turn up the volume on those things. But I don't know what's up with Thornhill. He's on the IR. I haven't heard his name coming back. So you got to pivot. You got to
Thornhill is
act as if he's not
a difference maker. I mean, why does that make it? Why does Thornhill make a difference?
Because he's your free safety and then coverage defense.
Rodney McLeod is good.
No, I mean, I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying he was the guy who was going to coordinate that at the beginning of the year. He's the guy who's going to make the call. We saw him make the call and we saw it not go well. But like that was going to be the guy who decided when you come out the huddle, he's your guy saying we're doing this now, and he ain't there. You're freeze a rookie or a second year player. Maybe you don't entrust him with those things. I don't know, man.
All right, let's talk about.
There's been no change up.
No, there's no change up. There's no curveball. There's nothing. I take that back. They've tried some things. It's just not working, right? Like,
yeah.
And it's hard to blame the defense because of.
Three and out. You're just on the field, man.
I think the defense would play better the second that they the tone would change in the locker room.
Uh-huh.
Everything would change. I just want.
Yes, please. Check my name.
But you got to do it before it's too late.
That's you laid it out, man. If you don't do this now, you're going to be pivoting to a completely different quarterback for different reasons because you're all the way out of it. And that's the thing, man. As bad as this feels, which it feels shitty. 3-game losing streak. You're 1-4. 3-2 is leading your division. You are a game and a half out of a wild card spot at 1-4. Like it's still there. It's still
watching
there.
This team. Yeah. Watching this team, you're out of it, but not really.
Yeah. That's the reason I hate the plan, dude. Like just pull him. You should have pulled him in half. That was as abysmal as it gets. You pull him in half. You start Winston. Winston's your starter going forward. Winston gets hurt, it's DTR. Like that's the move now. Like if we're having this conversation next week, I'm gonna lose my shit.
I just don't understand how they can't be there.
Because they're sticking to their plan. I'll never be able to tell you why they're sticking to said plan, but they're sticking.
What fucking reason, Casey? What?
I don't have a reason.
To whose benefit?
I don't know. Because they made a plan and they're sticking to their plan.
They're not dumb people.
Right?
You know that Stefanski's watching the same tape that we are.
You see the look on his face when it's happening. For everything that he does, he's just straight-laced and even-keeled. You can see the look on his face during these games when things are going awry. Like, this isn't – nobody's having fun. We're not having fun watching it. He's not having fun coaching it.
Chris says ego of top management at this point, but I already explained why I don't think it's that either. That doesn't even make sense to me. That makes no sense to me.
But there's nothing you can say that makes sense about Stefanski doing it either. There's none of this shit makes sense.
Unless
the plan sucks. That's the one thing that makes sense. The plan sucks. It's a shitty plan. The plan should have went out the window when the level of play dipped to single digits. That's when it should have been like, wait a minute.
It's a football season. Yeah, there's a plan, but to a certain extent, when it's failing, you do something else.
They looked at the schedule. The schedule laid out the way that it did, and they were like, and the play started the way that it did. I don't know, man. God damn it. I wish I could give you an answer why they're doing this to us. And not us, man. The other guys in that locker room. You can't go in there and explain to them, this is what we're doing.
That's why I don't get it with Stefanski. That's why I don't understand why he's not standing on the table, right? Yeah. Because you do this in spite of everybody else. Staying the course is an insult to everybody in that locker room.
100%. 100%.
And that's not Stefanski. That's not who he is. That's not who I know him to be.
I'm saying that's why I don't make a damn. None of this makes a bit of sense, man.
Nothing. No, I know.
He's not putting him or his wants in front of the team, like the whole thing, man. Like this is almost like organizational malpractice right now.
I already explained. Chris saying I don't think Stefanski has the power. I kind of already explained. He does have the power. He does.
If he wants to revolt against the plan, yes, he could 100% pull the plug. In game.
Yeah.
In game.
They're not. If he says, I'm going to play this guy,
he could be like, nah, dog, pine. It's time.
It's not quitting your job. If you say, I'm the head coach, I get to play who I want.
Mm-hmm.
And if you say no, or you try to force this on me, you're going to have to fire me to get me out of here. They're not going to fire him. They just gave him an extension. He's 2-time coach of the year. And if they do, he walks out a hero to everybody in the NFL.
I know. And I'm pretty sure he knows that.
So stand on the damn table.
He's not listening to you, Brad. He's listening to the plan. The plan, whatever the plan is, that's what he's following, man.
It's not.
It's shitty.
There's no reason. That's my point, though. There's no reason for he needs somebody be the bigger. If he was a real leader, the leader that I thought he was, then he would be standing on the table. Fuck the plan at this point.
He's seeing us out for one more week. I wish I could tell you something different.
Okay, one more week. I can buy that.
That's what I'm saying. So, why all of a sudden flip a table if you know that this is
I'm not okay. I'm not convinced it's one more week.
Dude, like I said, if we're having the same conversation next week, I'm gonna lose my shit. I don't know.
I agree.
There's this is. I think we're at 0 hour. I think this plays itself out in one. And yeah, I don't think there's anything he could do in 1 week to show me anything. What the body of work is, the body of work now. You know what I mean? 59 possessions. You've had 59 attempts to lead this team on the field. That's a lot. That's a lot, man. It's enough that and from what I'm hearing, it wasn't going better in practice. So I don't think they're seeing something that it's nah, we're almost, that's the frustrating part. If we're in these games and they're going the way they are, and we think they're this close to turning it around.
He's tearing it up in practice.
Something that we're getting none of that, man.
We had Zach Jackson on here, and he told us he looked like dog shit, basically.
Like he looks right now.
Yeah. All right. So what's next? You think it's next week?
Yes, dude. I'm praying it's in game.
I don't think it'll be in game. You think it comes in game, or you think it comes
another reason they probably weren't looking to make the move is there was the possibility of a suspension. So that was going to take the thing out of their hands. No one has to be the bad guy, and the problem takes care of itself. You know what I mean? And then we got the news that there was a settlement and all, so that's off the table. So maybe that was even part of the plan. Just we're almost there where this thing will take care of itself. We'll actually get them off our books, and then we'll be rid of them, and it doesn't hurt us at all financially. That's what they wanted to have happen. They won't come out. No one will ever come out and say that. Maybe there's a 30 for 30 10 years from now. But yeah, that was there was probably some eggs in that basket, in the suspension basket.
Yeah,
which I don't know that it's off the table completely.
I think it is. I think
he settled with those other girls that he still got.
I know, but
we don't know what
we heard the settlement was a lot. It's like a big number.
Yeah,
and
I would imagine he would not have given the settlement unless she signed an NDA to not, or agreed to not speak to the NFL.
Yeah.
Why else would you do it?
Yeah.
What else? So at what point, what are you going to investigate at that point?
I don't know. They're professional investigators. They're going to investigate whatever they want to investigate. And the NFL, like, dude, they don't need anything to suspend. They don't need anything legally to happen to you to suspend you, to deem you in violation of conduct policies. We've seen it.
Hope you're right, Brody.
I'm just saying, I don't think it's as dead in the water. I know that she settled, but like, if the prosecutor or the Catherine Wraith, I believe, is that her name?
Yeah.
Am I making that up? Anyway.
No, that's right.
If she had a hard on for him, and they thought he got off easy last time, and they were able to open the door and find out anything they didn't know before that happened prior. But anyway, even if that doesn't happen, I'm sure there were eggs in that basket. Even if that's off the table.
Sure.
I don't know, man.
They were hoping that the league would come in and do it for them.
Yeah. Yeah. And because that would absolve them financially. I get that.
Yeah.
Because as much as we can talk about, like, there's ways around it that make it stomachable. But if you can make it non-existent, like, it, you know what I mean? Just wash your hands of it. That would be the best case. So what's next? What's next is Winston time, man. What are we talking about?
So Winston time, but so he plays, and it'll be fun, I'm sure. But like, once they're eliminated, then it's DTR time, because you got to get him reps, because you got to maximize your opportunities here, right? Because the way you go into 2025, eating that contract, whether he's sitting on the bench or at home or wherever the hell he is, right? Let me ask you this. Are you drafting a quarterback with your first round pick?
If it falls in a range of, I think there's a guy, yes.
Depends.
Yeah, I mean, this quarterback class isn't like loaded to the point where there's all these can't miss prospects. There's a couple guys. There are certain guys that I'm interested in.
Yeah. There's some guys I'm interested in.
One of them has your last name, brother.
That's what I was just going to say. I share that one of them is my cousin. Yeah, one of them is my cousin.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I would love to see Cam in here. So, but
AMC, I like the Tennessee kid next year, though.
Who?
Nico from Tennessee. MC's a huge Volunteer fan.
What about Arch?
I don't know. I haven't seen enough, But yeah, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah, I agree, Chris. I was hoping that we were going to get a left tackle there, but I mean, the game has changed, man.
Yeah, you still might, man. Like,
get out.
It depends. Get out. There we go. There's some joy in the podcast tonight, people. Do you see that? Do you see that joy?
Let's go.
Unbridled.
Hell yes.
Good for you.
4-3 Gardos. Let's freaking go, baby. Fry with the home run in the 7th. Go to the bully. Shut it down. Bring it back for game 5. Win it at home, baby. Let's freaking go. Let's go. About time something happened for this freaking city. Boom. Look at that. Hands in. Pulled the hands in. Got under it. It was low. That was tough to hit, man. Woo! Woo! I'm fired up now.
I know. Hey, you needed it, man.
Every day is Friday, Jeff. Oh, J-Ram tried to go back to back. Yeah, Class A. Yeah, he can fumble, but after he threw those 3 straight sliders the other day, that last one was a meatball. I haven't seen him give up a shot like that. I mean, ever. I think that was the first home run he's ever given up. I think they said with the Guardians when they were not trailing or tied. Anyways, Nico going to be a star, says
Nico's
MC
a stud,
Lawrence.
dude. He's young, tall, crazy arm.
So real quickly, who's your core? I mean, like going forward, I put this in. I had people asking me this, and so Amari at the deadline, if you're out of it, right?
Yeah, you move on. He's on a contract.
Amari's getting traded.
Yep.
Jerry Judy's part of your core. Elijah Moore's gone after this year, right? Jed Will's gone after this year. Joel Bitonio probably retires or is gone. There's no more guaranteed money on his deal, right?
Yep. There's not a lot of guaranteed money on people's deals after this year.
No, there's not, but some of them have dead cap.
Yes.
Because
I'm not saying move on from everybody, but you're more flexible in that regard because of that. I think as soon as you say my core goes straight defense. I'm thinking JOK, Delpit, Emerson. You know what I mean? Like you got dudes,
offensively, man. Jamari Thrash, Tillman's still here. DeJuan Jones.
Yep.
He's Zach hurt right now. He's hurt right now. Zach Zinter. Yep. You might keep Nick Harris around. I don't know.
I keep Teller around. If I don't want to lose the Bitonio and Teller in the same year.
Teller, you keep Teller. Yep, you keep Teller. You got to have somebody move.
I'm keeping Njoku.
Njoku for sure. Jerome Ford. That's about it, right? On offense. On defense, it's Miles. It's, I mean,
Michael Hall, Miles,
Mike Hall, Isaiah McGuire, Ogbo.
I try to keep Dalvin Tomlinson.
You try to keep Dalvin, try to keep Shelby, but these guys are in kind of.
Shelby's on a 2-year deal. You have him.
Zadarius is on a 2-year deal. I don't know if he has guaranteed money in next year though.
I don't think that he does, but look, man, I'm not with you losing Alex Wright in the way you did. I'm not trying to move on unless I have to.
I think they're keeping Nick Chubb for sure.
I hope so. I
think you gotta, because of the precedent set by guys coming back from that injury who don't get to where they were year one. It's the year after. I think that they're smart enough. They should be smart enough.
And you need goodwill, baby. Like after what's just transpired, you need goodwill. Nick Chubb is that goodwill.
You owe it to this fan base to make sure he retires a Brown, really.
If you can,
this,
absolutely, if you can. Unless the player's delusional and just isn't going to hang it up, and then
he's not though.
No, I know, dude. Yeah, you are not going to get me to say anything bad about Nick Chubb. Ain't going to happen.
So after the defensive line, though, I mean it's Denzel, it's Delpit, it's
JOK,
it's Ronnie Hickman, it's Martin Emerson. I don't care about Greg Newsom; he's probably gone. It's Cam Mitchell, right? It's
Miles Harden. It's Nathaniel Watson.
I guess
Diabate. You're gonna bring back all those role player guys. You know.
You got young guys. I wish they wouldn't. Diabate and Watson. I haven't seen anything from Watson yet.
Yeah, he's a rookie.
Has he even played?
No, it's. But he might this week if Jordan Hicks can't go, and you need someone to stop the run. We'll see. He's on the roster.
Did Hicks sign a 2-year deal or one?
Who?
Hicks.
It's a great question. I think it might just be one. I'm not 100% on that.
I really like him. I wish he would stick around. He's older though, isn't he?
Would have been a rookie in what? 16 or 17.
I got it right here. Where'd he go?
I think he might have been a second-year player in 17 when they won it.
Here he is. Oh my God, my head hurts. Wow. No, he's 33.
Yep, they're probably gone.
You don't play like a 33-year-old.
You're still, well, I mean, yeah, and with that position, because JOK is what he is, you're always going to be looking for his running mate. And preferably you want to find someone who can be more of a cleanup guy. Because JOK is such a missile. Sometimes, and you live with that. You live with JOK missing an occasional tackle because he gets in the backfield and redirects ball carriers and just blows things up. He's not going to make every tackle moving at that speed. All right.
2 years, $8 million.
All right. One more year.
Yeah,
cool.
I agree. Pierre Strong.
Yeah, no, we don't need you.
See ya. Tillman can't catch a cold. I mean, I have not been impressed, but I mean, I can't. It's hard to judge.
I can't judge any of that shit until I get to someone who's competent.
I went through the separation numbers last night because there was a statement made on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show that the Browns wide receiver core is super slow and they can't separate. And that's why this offense doesn't work. I went to the data. They separate.
And they're not slow. What are we talking about? They're not slow.
Yeah. So, real quick.
Judy Moore? Even Amari, man. Amari is not a burner, but like, don't act like he's Jarvis out there.
I'll give you a guess. Who do you think's number one? So there's different separation metrics, right? But this one is from PFF. It's separation percentage. So a minimum of.
I got my guess.
What?
I got my guess.
I think it's a minimum of like 90 opportunities or something like that.
That might change my answer.
No, 30 opportunities. A minimum of 30 opportunities. So routes run where you can separate, right?
Elijah Moore.
No. As number one
for this
in
team?
the NFL?
No, I'm talking about for this team.
No. I mean, hold on. I got good. This is good quiz material.
I didn't know we were doing the whole league. I thought we were only doing Browns players.
But we are. But I wrote down some other players around them for comparison's sake, right?
Okay.
So yeah, separation percentage, minimum 30 opportunities. All right. Who do you think is number one in the NFL? In separation.
Is he hurt right now?
No.
Oh. I was going to say Nico Collins.
Nope. Not even close.
Okay.
He's a slot guy. He's a rookie. Luke McCaffrey.
For real? Word? Huh.
All right.
Would never. We could have been here all night, dude. I would have never been like Luke McCaffrey.
The Browns.
To win.
Wide receivers. Yeah. That's crazy, right? I thought that was crazy too. Luke McCaffrey. All right. Cooper is 20th in the NFL in separation.
Mm-hmm.
He has a separation rate of 65.75. Listen to this. How ironic is this? Number 19, Brandon Ayuk. Judy is 42nd.
Okay.
That's a good number, especially for a number 2.
Yeah.
He can be higher, but he's 60% separation rate. He's just to give you an idea where like the guys that you would, put in that category, just behind Smith and Jigba, Steph Diggs, and Tyler Lockett. So he's just behind them, but also ahead of Pickens, Xavier Worthy, Jalen Waddle, Nico Collins, and Drake London. Ahead of all those guys.
A lot of those guys are number ones for their teams, for the record.
Yep. Elijah Moore is 74th.
Okay.
Now he does grade better. I thought he would be in the there's another like where it's just a grade for separation. They grade it differently, and he is much better than even his teammates in that metric. But either way, in this one, 74th, I thought he would be higher because he seems to separate
Yeah.
Really well. 53.33% of the time. And he's one spot ahead of Michael Pittman, to give you an example.
Who is it? His team's number 1. But he's hurt.
So,
yeah, no, it's that's the reason the tape is frustrating as it is because I'm seeing guys, the answers are there, and
I mean, Moore's open. Guys are open.
We can't judge any of those guys.
Yeah. Nico Collins leads the league in receiving for context. Absolutely. Yeah. And Judy has better separation.
He goes on the IR, isn't he?
Elijah Moore is always open. You're absolutely right. He is always open. Always open. Great route runner. Bust his ass. Good soldier. I love Elijah Moore. I wish they'd keep him around. Nico's on the IR. You're right. But he is leading the league in receiving.
Well, that's the thing. We don't know. Maybe Moore ends up back here. But until you have a competent quarterback showing what's actually working and what's not, what do we do?
Gaddis. Huge strikeout to end the 7th. Let's go. Hudson had surgery today, says Jacob. He's IR'd?
He wasn't on the list earlier today. That is, he's not going to be on that list tomorrow.
I would think he is now, unless they just scoped him. I thought it was a shoulder, though, bro.
It was a shoulder.
Can you scope a shoulder?
You could arthroscopic whatever.
You probably can.
I was just going there and cleaning stuff up, cartilage debris.
Oh, he's on the IR. James Hudson III, IR.
Man, I missed that today.
That's what this website says.
Yeah, dude. If he had surgery, he needs to be on the IR.
I mean, our lad says it. Yeah, player status, injured reserve. I didn't see that anywhere.
Season's over.
Yeah, well,
we did get your boy Whitebeard back on the practice squad, though. Let's go.
Whitebeard is back. Yep.
Season's back on.
I wish David Bell would be back.
Yeah.
Naheem Hines, Nick Chubb coming back. So's Hurst soon, right? Oh,
his window's open.
Yeah, that's good. Alex Wright, I think, is a part of your core.
You want him to be, yeah.
I hope.
It's a bummer because this has
been overwhelming.
And this would have been if he would have played out the season. I think he's the guy you try to extend for cheap going in before his 4th year, because you can negotiate after your 3rd.
Yeah, Whiteheart. We call him. I call him Whitebeard. Whitebeard.
Welcome to the show.
Yeah, Miles Harden for sure. I want to keep him around.
Mm-hmm.
DeAndre for sure. Yep. I like Harden a lot. I wish I would have seen more of him. Is he hurt? He's hurt.
Yeah.
He's on the IR. Yeah, I'd love to see him some more.
It's hard to keep track of all these guys on the IR.
Yeah. Yeah, Whitebeard. Yeah, I accidentally called him Whitebeard once and it just stuck. I know it's Whiteheart, but Whitebeard makes me think of like he's a character in Game of Thrones or something.
I could go by Whitebeard.
Who isn't on IR? Great question. Yeah, that's great. Whitebeard. Yeah, you're a little Whitebeard there.
Oh yeah, I could go Whitebeard for sure.
I can't grow a beard. It gets patchy,
and
can't get past. I can't get through the awkward phase.
Yeah.
It's like, it doesn't look good. There's a period of weeks where you just look like a homeless person. And then I'm like.
Yeah, I look like a mid-century French poet. It's not good. It's not I don't grow a cool beard.
No, I like what you got going on. I can't. It just doesn't. I've tried. I wish I could. You think that beard stuff that people buy works?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Turn your face into a chia pet?
Well, my wife's an esthetician, and they do. I can't remember the name of it, but there is because you see the videos for those companies that do stuff, like a blade you drag on your face and it encourages hair growth. People do that. That is a real thing that people do.
They do what now?
Like those beard companies that you get a kit.
Yeah.
And part of it's like this like blade, like
Yeah.
you drag on your face like a derma roller.
Yeah.
Like,
What's
there's
that?
like
That makes the hair come out?
you can get like surgical versions. It encourages hair growth or promotes. I don't know, man. Like
Yeah.
I have yet to
Brushing it.
indulge.
You see what Paul said?
I can't even bother with just for men's. You think I'm going to go the extra step? Like,
Oh, I think the gray beard is distinguished.
it's something.
I love how
gray.
all
Mine's straight up
encompassing.
white. It just skipped gray. It was like, no.
It's a distinguished look.
My
love
body
how
was like, I'm using that effort elsewhere to keep you alive. We're not going to darken your hair anymore.
Yeah.
Although the hair on my head's still dark. But for how long?
Paul says he loves the all-encompassing.
Dude, who knows? We need some levity. Damn it.
You never know.
Everything we sit through all week.
Brushing it helps with the itchy early, and oils will help.
Yeah, there's people that maintain beards, man.
Yeah.
Did you see the new
it's too much work.
head coach of the Jets?
Ew.
I don't know, something Ulbrich. His beard is fantastic. His beard trumps Stefanski's beard for sure. Like he looks like the world's most interesting man from the Dos Equis commercials from years ago.
Oh yeah.
He looks like a buff version of that guy.
Yeah.
Fantastic beard. White. Super distinguished, this fella.
Super distinguished. What's
super
his
distinguished. Name? Something Ulbrich. Ulbirch.
Let's put Jets' new coach.
Yeah, you'll see it.
Oh yeah.
Super. That's a great beard right there, man. That's fantastic work.
Oh, it's down. He can't find it. Double. 2 outs. Let's go. Get another one. Let's freaking go. Here he is. All right. Let's see if we can bring up this jabroni. Jeff Ulbrich.
World's most interesting man. Stay thirsty, Jets fans.
This guy is the Jets coach?
Yeah.
Where did they get this guy from?
He was on the defensive staff.
And they
promoted him after they axed Saleh.
So Saleh did what Stefanski should be doing. Saleh just was doing his damn job.
Yeah.
But he's got to deal with that.
Cautionary tale, buddy.
He's got to. So
no
what?
No one's talking about him being a hero, though.
Yeah, it's a different situation.
For sure.
Because it's Aaron Rodgers. But if he's going up against Deshaun Watson, they'd be carrying him around town and building statues for him.
But it's crazy because the narrative was they fired him because he took away play calling duties from Nathaniel Hackett, and then they hire Ulbrich, and then first thing they do is take play calling duties away from Nathaniel Hackett. That still happened.
Yeah, it's so weird. That doesn't make any sense.
None of it makes sense.
No. But clearly, I mean, you saw the way that freaking dude looked at his coach.
When Saleh went to hug him, that thing takes on so much more meaning now.
Yeah, like he looked.
I don't know, man. He's a nightmare. I don't want nothing to do with him.
He wanted to.
That beard is fantastic. Look at that. Look at that guy. Stay thirsty, Jets fans.
Oh, here you go. Goatee, nice stash. See? I can't do it. It's frustrating.
I was thinking about just growing out the mustache and letting it kind of go wild, but like me and my wife's 10-year anniversary is in 2 weeks, and we're going away to New Orleans, and I can't be doing that to her there.
Jack is absolutely right. Rodgers is running that show. Yeah, you can't do it.
But then why do they promote the defensive guy? Okay. Weird. It's weird. It's weird.
Just stay the hell out of the way. Like go manage everything else. But
do your cold beard.
Yeah.
White
beard.
Look at that.
You're in charge of everything with the white beard. You're in charge of everything with the offense. Hackett's gonna be a puppet. All right, we gotta get out of here. I think we've covered everything.
Probably not.
Gotta
Who cares, dude? Like,
gotta happen next week. No, I care. I absolutely care. I want
if it doesn't, I can't imagine what this show is going to be like next week if it's the same thing. If it's still
Paul,
like,
I've been calling Rogers. He's one of the biggest douchebags I think on the planet. Like, he is so fake. Like, do you like? There's this vocal majority or minority, whatever, of people that watch him on McAfee and think he's like real and cool and
yeah.
nah.
Yeah. The only thing that I will stick up for Aaron Rodgers on is his Halloween costumes are legit. Like him as John Wick, like I enjoy that kind of stuff. But him as a person, not for me. Not for me.
Yeah.
I think he's saying things because he thinks he sounds interesting.
Stay thirsty, my friend. World's most interesting man, Kevin Stefanski. What will he do? So I need it. That's an interesting statement, Paul. As creepy as Watson is, I'd take his sliminess over Rodgers any day, he says.
Whew, buddy.
I don't know about that. A, Rodgers is better.
Well, I think we need to examine this. Because when we got Watson, what was the indication? What was our feelings? Good football player, terrible person. And we were trying to come to grips with that. Is he a worse quarterback than he is a person now? Like have we tipped those scales? Like
they're pretty close.
Way closer. Then you would have, if I'd have said that statement to you the day we got him, like I think he's even worse quarterback than he is a person.
Do we know that? Do he says, I just mean I'm comparing creeps. So, but I called him a douchebag, but is he a creep though? Do we know that he's done anything creepy?
No.
Aaron Rodgers.
No, he's not that I know of. I'm not aware of any. He sucks. I don't know, man. I don't listen to him talk on McAfee. I did at first because I just listen to McAfee. I used to listen to McAfee every day.
Yeah.
I always do this, man. When something comes like into my life and I like it, and then it gets real popular and I let it go. I just let it go to the people. The masses can have it. I've done it so many times in my life. McAfee's no longer my thing.
There's something about like drives him to the fence. There's something about like when it's like you listen to the show, it's your show, like
yes.
a small group and knows about it, and before the masses get to it,
yeah,
like this show, right?
Now we're
like, yeah, you know, before we go international,
global.
Right now, you feel like you have some ownership over it, you know.
I used to feel that way with Joe Rogan. That's how long I've been listening to Joe Rogan. I was in on Joe Rogan at the very inception, at the very beginning. And it was this little niche thing. And I listened to every episode. And now it's like the world's biggest platform. It's not for me anymore, man. I can't do it.
The biggest.
The biggest. Do you want to get your message out?
Go on Rogan. All right. Guys, good show tonight. Listen. Here's all I can say. It's got to happen this week.
Oh, my God. I need oxygen.
What if he goes nuts? With our luck, he'll go off for like 350 yards and 4 touchdowns. With our luck, he'll do that.
There is nothing he could show me in one game.
I agree. He could break single game records. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I've seen enough. I know he can't do it. I agree, Gregory. Whatever you pray to, God, Allah, whatever, Buddha, the lamp, whatever your higher power.
Jabu.
Pray.
positive thoughts. Maybe the defense can generate a win, or they can get the run game going. This has got to be kitchen sink game, right? Because you got to realize on the other side of this is a home game to start division play.
Yeah. Yep.
That home game has the potential to be, and unlike some other people that I've seen on Twitter, I love lamps. Unlike some other people that I've seen on Twitter who appear to be rooting for mayhem in that home game. Drew Spade. Have you seen that?
No.
Yeah. It's like he's rooting for, like, I don't get it.
No.
Anyways. But I don't know. Chaos drives change, says Chat using it. I guess I'd like to see the change before the chaos, because then you get the home field advantage. You've got Cincy's number. You're all up in their dome. You're living rent free in the Bengals' head. The defense comes in psyched up because of on-site rivalry with their wide receivers. Probably be the last on-site rivalry between.
Higgins be gone
before Chase and everybody hightails it out of there.
Yeah.
Well, Chase ain't leaving, but Higgins. So Burrow is balling right now.
Mm-hmm.
So you better be playing good defense by then. Philly is beatable.
Yeah, I said that today, man. They're a very beatable team, but they do have very good talent. But
they're super talented.
They have not been able to put it together.
They're a much better team than us right now. I mean, it's not even close.
Yeah, I mean they beat the Packers, they beat the Saints. They have quality wins.
Any given
They're inconsistent. Can you stop Saquon Barkley? That's the game for me.
Any given Sunday.
Oh
my gosh.
Make Hurts beat you with his arm.
Yeah. All right. Listen, I love you guys. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Hit like, hit subscribe, go to the OBR, keep it locked in. 24/7 coverage, always over there. We will never let you down. I will never let you down like the Browns have. Promise you that. For Casey Kinnamon, any parting words?
Jameis Winston.
Free Jameis. My name is Brad Ward. This has been All Eyes on Cleveland. Go Guardians, and we'll see you on Sunday. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.